Hey everyone, today I'll be recommending you guys 10 harem/romance anime with monster or demi-human girls. Keep in mind there are lots and lots of anime with monster girls, so you won't see all of them here. But before we start, be sure to subscribe and turn on notification to stay notified about our latest videos. In 10th place we have C-Cube. Yachi Haruwaki is a high school boy who is naturally resistant to curses. After his father sends him a mysterious black cube, Haruwaki awakes to find a nude girl named Fear standing in his kitchen. She's the human form of the cursed black cube, and an instrument of torture. Utilizing her special abilities, Fear fights alongside Haruwaki to defeat other cursed instruments and their owners. In 9th place is Omamori Himari. After the death of his parents, Yuto Amakawa lives a pretty ordinary life in the city. The only problem he has to worry about while attending school alongside Rinko, his next-door neighbor, is his cat allergies. That all changes on his 16th birthday, when an Ayakashi, a supernatural creature, attacks him for the sins of his ancestors. Luckily, he is saved by Himari, a mysterious cat woman with a sword, who explains that Yuto is the scion of a family of demon slayers, and she is there to protect him now that the charm that kept him hidden from the supernatural forces of the world has lost its power. Omamori Himari chronicles Yuto's dealings with the various forces of the supernatural world, as well as the growing number of women that show up on his doorstep, each with their own dark desires. Will Yuto be able to adjust to his new exciting environment? Or will the ghost of his ancestors past catch up with him? In 8th place is actually, I Am. One day after school, Asahi Kuramani stumbles upon the truth that Yuko Shiragami, the girl he has a crush on, is actually a vampire. According to her father's rules, Yuko must now quit school in order to keep her family safe. However, Asahi does not want her to go and promises that he will keep her true nature secret. Unfortunately, this turns out to be easier said than done, as Asahi is a man who is easy to read and is unable to keep any secrets to himself. And this is only the beginning of his troubles. More supernatural beings enter his life, and he is forced to protect all of their identities or face the consequences. In 7th place is Dog Days. Dog Days was one of those series that pleasantly surprised me. At first I thought the series wouldn't get anywhere, but it sure proved me wrong. As the episodes passed by, the series just kept getting better, and it just goes to show that first impressions aren't everything. Dog Days starts off like a number of fantasy series, with our protagonist getting summoned to another world to assist with a war that is currently going on. Although the word war makes it sound like something big is going on, a war is more like a game with a protective barrier to prevent anyone from getting seriously harmed. However, as the series goes on, a catastrophe begins to develop and the characters are forced to stop it. In 6th place is Rosario 2 Vampire. This is a typical harem, romantic, comedy anime about an average human high school boy Tsukun, who couldn't get into any private schools and was stuck going to a school for monsters. This may sound interesting, but there's nothing particularly special about this setup, since it is just your average school rom/com, but with monsters. What's more is that each episode has some very predictable outcomes that get boring. So in the end, the weak and repetitive story turned this into a series that you can only enjoy once you turn off your brain. But still it has some good fan service, so you might want to give it a try. In 5th place is Shuffle. Is a classic supernatural, harem, romance, comedy, drama that feels fairly average to begin with, but it's full of surprises as you go on. The story is just your basic harem anime, as it follows a male protagonist, an average high school boy who lives with his childhood friend Kaidi. Of course, to make this a harem there are more girls included into the mix, 5 in total, and not to forget the all-important supernatural element to the show, by adding gods and demons to the plot. As the series begins, it is your typical rom/com with plenty of cute and hilarious moments, and heaps of casual fan service. It is until halfway into the series that the drama kicks in, bringing forth a great deal of heartfelt moments, which will get most viewers all teary-eyed, and plenty of character developments. In 4th place is Interview with Monster Girls. High school biology teacher Tetsuo Takahashi may look like your average everyday instructor, but beneath his gentle appearance lies something less ordinary: his fascination for the Ajin, more commonly known as Demi. Although these half-human, half-monster beings have integrated into human society, Takahashi believes that much about them will remain unknown unless he interacts with them firsthand. Demi-chan Waka Taratai follows Takahashi's daily life in Shibasaki High School together with his 3 Demi-students Hikari Takanashi, an energetic vampire, Kyuko Maki, a gentle Dullahan, and Yuki Kusakabe, the shy snow woman. Along the way, Takahashi also meets fellow teacher Saki Satu, a succubus with an aversion towards men. To fulfill his goal of learning more about the Demi, Takahashi decides to conduct casual interviews with the girls to learn more about their abilities, psyche, and interaction with human society. In 3rd place is Interspecies Reviewers. First of all, this is not a hentai. I repeat, this is not a hentai. Rather, it's this. This anime is horrible. I'd rather watch hentai than this. Honestly, you can watch it if you want to know deeper about Monster Girls, and I mean very, very deep. But I honestly did not like it that much, and I don't get why there is a hype about this anime.
Yes, indeed. After all, I'm sure you can see my credentials. Oh, dearie me. Though I guess I can't blame you for losing your composure over my beautiful body, which rivals that of a goddess.
Oh no, that wasn't what I meant at all.
In 2nd place is Monster Girl Doctor. After years of conflict, humans and monsters have settled their differences, and are now at peace. This post-war era led to the foundation of Lindworm, a town which has since become the focal point of racial harmony. As a human doctor specializing in monster biology, Glenn Litbite runs a small clinic alongside his partner, Saphantite Neeks, who is a half-snake monster known as a lamia. He uses his knowledge to tend to any monsters who seek his aid. Whatever affliction, concern, or injury it may be, he will always be there, ready to help.
Mero とお呼びください、旦那様。
それじゃあ行くよ。
ええ、一緒に参りましょう。ダーディン。何やってるの？イチャついたりして。
ミーヤ、何する？
In 1st place is Monster Musume. Everyday life with monster girls. With his parents abroad, Kimihito Kurusu lived a quiet, unremarkable life alone until monster girls came crowding in. This alternate reality presents cutting-edge Japan, the first country to promote the integration of non-human species into society. After the incompetence of interspecies exchange coordinator Agent Smith leaves Kimihito, as the homestay caretaker of a lamia named Maya, the newly minted darling quickly attracts girls of various breeds, resulting in an ever-growing harem flush with eroticism and attraction. In my opinion, this is the best monster girl anime, and also one of my favorite harem anime. Alright guys, that's it for today's list. Don't forget to like and subscribe and also join our Discord server, and if you have free time check out my merch store website, Twitter and Facebook page, links are in the description.